Hi, everybody. This is a short guided meditation for a tour of the senses. And we're going to narrow our focus range to see in and hear in by way of exploring our minds and really understanding how we can be aware of what we're thinking and feeling, which is a great resilience tool, particularly in these difficult times. So see in is that ability to notice when we're thinking in visual images. And herein is the practice of knowing when we are thinking in an auditory mode. And I'll lead us in just a moment through the guided meditation so you can really experience what we will call image space, where we imagine actually scenes and images when we think, and then talk space where we hear ourselves all day long talking to ourselves, and we might call that thinking. So in this practice, we're really familiarizing ourselves with both when these experiences light up or we hear ourselves, and we're exploring the location of what we will call talk space and image space. So if you want to assume a mindfulness posture, which is just making the body comfortable and the mind alert, and something that helps with that is just straightening the spine, softening the eyes and the cheeks, softening, relaxing the jaw, allowing the shoulders to relax, and allowing your arms and your hands to just be at rest. You can do this practice with your eyes open or closed, whatever is most comfortable for you. Sometimes it's most helpful to have the eyes closed for this particular technique, but open is fine too. And so when you're ready, I would invite you to bring your attention into your body. And first we will do see in, which is really noticing when we're thinking in images. So right now, go ahead and imagine your favorite food. Just picture what it is you really, really like for food. And notice if that image pops up of the food. Just notice any details. What does it look like? What's the size of the object? You might also notice where it is actually showing up. So for me, image space, where my picture of Mrs. C's candy, my favorite food, is showing up, is like right here. I can just imagine it here. It's almost like there's a screen, a mental image screen. And when it lights up with, in this case, a piece of Mrs. C's candy. I can actually see in. And so while I'm imagining that favorite food, I can actually use the label see. See. As I strengthen both my concentration and my sensory clarity in imagining my favorite food. Okay, we can let that see in go, and now we'll do hear in. All day long, we're talking to ourselves. We can actually hear ourselves in a sense, imagination or our thinking. So bringing attention to what we'll call talk space, and we can light it up by just silently reciting your phone number to yourself. Can you hear yourself actually talking to yourself, telling yourself your phone number? You might also notice that there may be a location of this, what we'll call talk space. For many people, it's between the ears. For me, it's like right here. When I hear myself thinking, talking to myself, herein, it's right here. So as you recite your phone number, or you notice other thoughts that you're having that are auditory, you can use the label here. Okay, so we can let that go. And now lastly, we will do feel in. Feel in is being aware of emotions as they show up in the body. And we know that every emotion shows up in the body, even if we're not aware of it. It's most obvious when something happens like a loud noise startles us and the body moves, or when we have a lot of joy or sadness. There's very powerful sensations in the body that we can identify. So right now, I would invite you to bring your attention into your body and notice if there's any emotions that are showing up. And for many people, emotions are usually along this whole midline of the body. So for me, anxiety shows up in tightness of the chest and arms. Joy and happiness shows up just all through my face and the upper arm. So I know there's a location for what we'll call feel in emotions. So just check that out for a moment right now. And if there's no emotions, if it's quiet, we could use the label rest. If there is an emotion there, you can use the label feel. Okay, we can let that go. And now let's bring our attention to all three experiences. See in image space, hear in talk space, and feel in bodily emotions. So for the next 2 minutes, just allow your attention to go between those areas. And if you notice an image, you hear yourself, or you have an emotion in your body, you can use see or hear or feel. Or if those places are empty or quiet, you can use the label rest. So we'll do this for about 2 minutes. So noticing the image space, see, talk space, hear, or bodily emotion, feel. Noticing where your attention is, see, hear, or feel. Okay, good, great work. So this short guidance was really an exploration of the mindfulness of seeing, hearing, and feeling in. You can actually use this technique in your daily meditation practice, maybe doing 5 minutes or 10 minutes. What we know is the more we focus on these areas of visual thinking, auditory thinking, and emotion, bodily emotion, the more we're strengthening those three skills of mindfulness: concentration, sensory clarity, and equanimity. And ultimately, we're developing emotional intelligence, which actually makes us more successful and happier in the world. So practice if you can this week, and I hope all goes well with your mindfulness. Take care. Bye.